Hey guys, how are you? Hopes you all are well. So in this video, I will show you how you can plot a line in by using Matplotlib. So first you need to import a library, Python library called matplotlib.pyplot. So there are so many tools that you can draw the different types of graphs. So and you need to make two lists. One is day. I import that 5-day. Saturday to Wednesday, and the sales which represents the sales on each individual day. So now we want to plot a line using these two lists and also by using the matplotlib.pyplot function. So for using line plot, then you need to write the plt.plot. So on the x-axis, you need to put the days. So that's why I write day on the first place and the sales on the second place. So sales will represents in the y-axis. So after that, if you want to show the graph, then you need to write plt.show. So if you run this two sentence, then you will see that the graph appears to you. So that's the line plot which I make by using the Matplotlib library. And now you can add more functionality to that plot, that if you want to present some string in the x-axis, then you can make it. So first I will show you that if you want to change the color of the line, then you need to do that color equal, suppose I want to make it green, so then the plot will be appears in green color. So you can see that. And the second property is, if you want to increase the size of the line, then you need to do line width equal, so that size you see is likely to 2 size. So if you want to make it more bigger, then you need to put value greater than 2. So suppose I give input 4. So if I do this, then the line will be more thicker. So you can see that line will get thicker. So now if you want to change the structure of this line, suppose it's a solid line. So if you make it as a dotted line, then you need to use line style, and you need to give input as colons. So if you give input as colon, then you will see the dotted line. So here you can see the line will change to dotted. So now we are going back to the previous, that the line width will be 2 and the line style is the same as the first picture. So if we run again, then we see the previous graph. So now you can represent the every point on the graph as a circle or a triangle sign. Suppose that on Saturday the sales was 18. So on the 18th point, you can show is at a circle, or which we will call the intersecting point. So for this you need to write the marker equal O. So if you write the marker equal O means a circle, then you will see that on the intersecting point, the point will replace as a circle. And you can also add another thing, that if you want to see as a triangle, then you need to give input as the power sign. So if I run again, then you can see that on the intersecting point you see some triangle. So I set it by default 0. So, and now you need to add a label on the graph. So label means what you want to show in the graph. So I write that 225 sales data. So the label doesn't appear at that time, it will need another function to show in the graph. So the next thing is that we doesn't describe what is in the x-axis and what is in the y-axis. So if you want to describe what is in the x-axis, then you need to do the plt dot x label. So whatever we write in that parenthesis, that will appears at the x-axis. So we can see that the x-axis has a different day of the week. So we can write that the day of the week. So if we run again, then we will see at the x-axis the string is appears at day of the week. So also we can add the same in the y-axis. Then we need to write plt dot y label. So we can see that on the y label it corresponds to the sales. So we can write the sales on the y label. So if we run it again, then we will see the sales on the y label. So that's the basic process to draw a line plot. So if you want, you will add more functionality to this graph. So on the first line of the plot function, you can see that I add a label. So if you want to show it on the graph, then you need to write plt dot legend. So if you write plt dot legend, then it will show the labels on the graph. So you can see that on the upper left corner, you can see the 2025 sales data. So you can change the position of this label into 4 positions: on the upper left, on the upper right, and the lower left on the lower right. So suppose you want to shift that sign in the lower right position. So you will need to write in the legend that location equal upper right. Lower right. So if you run it again, then you will see that the labels will shift in the upper right position. So now, there is another 2 function which is x ticks and y ticks. So you can see that the day of the week are on the parallel to the x-axis or at 0-degree angle. So if you want to shift this at a 45-degree angle, or you will print this day as cross letter, then you will need to use x ticks, which the structure is plt dot x ticks, which is rotation equal 45 degree. So if you write this, then you will see that the later on the x-axis is shifted to rotate, is rotated as 45 degree. So you will do the same thing to the sales position. So for this you will need to plt dot y ticks. Then you need to shift the rotation. You need to write rotation is equal to 90 degree. So if I run it again, then you will see that the numbers on the y-axis is rotate to the 90 degree angle. So that's the basic characteristics or process to draw a line plot by using Matplotlib. Hope you well understand this video. So if you want more video, please let me in the comment section.